wanted in surgery. Dr. Thompson, call 416. Dr. Sigel wanted in Ward 12. Dr. Brown wanted in surgery.
Hear that? Those are the sounds in a hospital. A hospital is a place to go when you need an operation, or sometimes if you're sick. Because in a hospital, the doctors and nurses have everything they need to make you well. You were probably born in a hospital. Also, most children at some time or other go to a hospital to have their tonsils fixed. And I'll bet you'd like to know what a hospital is like, wouldn't you? So today, we're going with a little boy named Matthew. But before we go, let's listen in while he's being examined by his family doctor. You can be the doctor and pretend you're examining the little boy. You might say,
"Well, Matthew, what's the trouble today?"
I don't feel so good. My throat hurts.
Really? Let's have a look. You open your mouth very wide and say, "Ah."
Ooh.
No, Matthew. I said, "Ah." Matthew, you're supposed to say, "Ah."
Ah.
That's better. Well, now, it looks to me as though those tonsils need fixing. The sooner the better.
But then I'll have to go to the hospital, and I don't want to go to the hospital.
Oh, I don't think you'll mind at all, Matthew. Our hospital has a brand new children's ward, and you'll have a lot of other children there that you can play with and visit with. You only stay overnight, you know, and the time goes very fast.
Can Mommy stay with me?
Some hospitals let mommies stay, some don't. But if she does stay, then you can't be in with the other children, because in our hospital, when a mommy stays with a child, they stay in the big people's part of the hospital. And that may not be as much fun for you. The children's section, you know, has toys and games and puzzles and TV sets and lots of things you can do.
Well, by the time Matthew left the doctor's office, he began to think that going to the hospital might not be so bad after all. In fact, it sounded rather interesting. He could hardly wait to tell Mother.
Mommy, I have to get my tonsil fixed, and I have to go to the hospital. And there'll be games and toys and other children to play with. And I think I'll stay by myself and go with the other children. Isn't that nice? Aren't I a big boy?
Finally, the big day arrived. The doctor had told Jimmy he wasn't to eat anything that morning, so he helped Mother pack his little suitcase, and they were on their way to the hospital. He did decide to stay with the other children after all, and after Mother signed a paper at the big desk in the front hall, she took him down to the children's ward. It was all shiny and new and painted blue and white, with lovely little animals on the walls. It had little tables and chairs, and some children were playing games at the little tables. Some were watching television. Mother took him into his room, and he got into his new green pajamas. Mother was allowed to stay with him until he went to the operating room. So she found a book in the bookcase that stood in the hallway and started to read him a story.
Once upon a time, there were a fisherman and his wife who lived in a hovel by the sea. One day, the fisherman took his line and went out to try his luck. The waters were still and clear, and the sun shone in them, making pretty moving shapes. So the fisherman sat and sat. At last, he felt a tug.
Oh, look, here comes someone. A lady in a white uniform and no hat, so she can't be a nurse. She's carrying a little tray with lots of bottles on it. Who can she be? Let's listen in and find out.
Hi, Matthew. How are you today?
Fine, but who are you?
I'm called a lab technician, Matthew.
A lab tactician? What's that? I can't even say it.
Well, Matthew, I'll show you. See this little needle? I stick your finger with it. It's just like a little pinprick, and that makes just enough blood to draw up this rubber tube and into the little bottle. Then we look at it in our laboratory and find out everything we need to know about your blood. Now remember, it's just like being stuck by a pin. Ready? Let's have your finger.
Okay. Ouch!
There. That wasn't so bad. Now, was it?
No, it only hurt a little, but it sure made me jump.
After the lab technician left, the nurse came in to get Matthew ready.
Hi, Matthew. I have something for you. Here's a little pill to take.
What's it for?
This pill is to make you feel nice and sleepy before we go upstairs. And if I were you, I would save that nice pair of pajamas for when we come back. You don't want to get them all dirty. Here's a new hospital gown to wear instead. And then you can change back after the operation is over. Now, I also have a nice white hat for you to wear to keep your hair covered.
While the nurse was talking to Matthew, someone brought in something that looked like a long bed on wheels.
All right, Matthew, let's get on to this stretcher and then we'll be on our way.
No, I don't want to go on that. I don't know what it is and I don't like it.
Why, Matthew, that's just like a little bed on wheels. And when you get on this, we take you for a wonderful ride down the hallway. Why, that's the most fun of all. Now, come on, say goodbye to Mother.
Bye, Ma.
Goodbye, Matthew. I'll be waiting right here for you when you get back from the operating room. All right?
Okay, Ma. But what happens when I get to the operating room? That's what I want to know.
All right. While we ride the stretcher down the hall, I'll tell you all about it. Now, when we get to the operating room, you'll see all the nurses and doctors with masks that look like white handkerchiefs over their mouths and noses. They look kind of funny, but that's to keep everything clean. Then they put a rubber cup over your nose with a medicine called ether. And when you breathe in, it puts you to sleep. And you won't even know what happened until you wake up back in your room with your mommy. Of course, you won't feel too good at first, because you might feel a little sick in the stomach, and your throat feels sore. But it doesn't last very long, and after you go to sleep tonight, your mommy will be back the next morning to take you home. And that's all there is to it. Oh, yes, except for one thing that I left out.
What? Something bad?
No, something good. This is one time you can eat all the ice cream you want. What do you think of that?
Oh, boy.